Awaken the power of love within you. Discover how love heals the heart. Zen Motivational Video. They say love is the most powerful force in the universe, yet most of us spend a lifetime searching for it outside ourselves. We look for love in people, in success, in validation. But what if the greatest power of love has always been within you, quietly waiting to be awakened? Today's story will remind you that the power of love isn't just about romance. It's about the energy that heals, forgives, and transforms everything it touches. Quiet village surrounded by green hills lived an old craftsman named Eli. His hands had built hundreds of things in his lifetime: furniture, toys, tools, but none of them made him truly happy anymore. Eli's heart had grown cold. Years of disappointment, betrayal, and loneliness had hardened him. He worked alone, ate alone, and often whispered to himself, "Love is only an illusion. People take, they don't give." One winter morning, while repairing an old wooden chair, Eli heard a faint knock on his door. When he opened it, a young boy stood there, shivering from the cold, holding a small wooden bird with a broken wing. "Mister," the boy said softly, "can you fix this for me? My father made it before he passed away." Eli frowned but let the boy in. He took the little bird and examined it. "It's just a toy," Eli grumbled. The boy looked up with teary eyes. "It's all I have left of him." Something in those words pierced Eli's heart. He didn't understand why, but for the first time in years, he felt something stir inside. A small, fragile warmth. He spent hours repairing the bird, carefully sanding its wings, smoothing its edges, painting it gently with new colors. When he finished, he wound the tiny spring inside it and the bird began to sing. The sound was soft but full of life. The boy's face lit up. "Thank you, sir," he cried. "Now I can remember my father again." As the boy ran off, Eli stood there, stunned. That small act had awakened something he thought was long dead. Love. Not the kind that expects anything in return, but the kind that gives simply because it's right. For the first time in years, Eli smiled. He realized that love is not an emotion that others give you. It's an energy you choose to create. The next morning, he walked through the village and noticed things he hadn't seen before. The laughter of children, the old baker singing softly as she kneaded dough, the way sunlight turned frost into diamonds. It was as if the whole world had changed overnight. But in truth, he was the one who had changed. Days turned into weeks. Eli began helping others again, repairing tools, fixing roofs, carving toys for children whose parents had little to give. He no longer kept count of what he received. Each act of kindness became a spark that lit another. Soon, the village was filled with warmth, not from fire, but from connection. One evening, an old friend who had long avoided Eli stopped by. "You seem different," the friend said. "Happier. What happened to you?" Eli smiled. "I stopped waiting for love to come from others. I started letting it flow through me." Love, when awakened, changes not just the heart, it transforms the world around it. It teaches forgiveness, even when pain feels justified. It reminds us that healing doesn't come from holding on, but from letting go. And most importantly, it reveals that love isn't something we earn. It's something we become. But like every transformation, love is tested. One afternoon, a man came to Eli's shop, a man who, years ago, had cheated him in business and ruined his reputation. The moment Eli saw him, old memories flooded back. Anger, betrayal, humiliation. The man bowed his head. "Eli, I came to apologize. I know what I did was wrong. I've lost everything since then, my home, my work, my peace. I came here to ask for forgiveness, though I don't deserve it." Eli's hands trembled. Every part of him wanted to turn away. But then he saw the wooden bird sitting on the shelf, wings spread wide, frozen mid-song. He remembered the boy's eyes, that same pain, that same longing for mercy. And suddenly, the truth became clear. To love is to forgive. Not because the other deserves it, but because you deserve peace. He looked at the man and said quietly, "I forgive you. I hope you find peace." The man began to cry. "Thank you," he whispered. When he left, Eli realized something profound. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past. it releases its power over you. That night, as Eli sat by the fire, he whispered a prayer of gratitude. He understood now that love was not a word, nor a fleeting feeling, but a way of seeing the world, one that brings healing wherever it flows. Next day, the young boy returned, now with his mother. They brought a small loaf of bread and a note that read, "Thank you for showing us kindness. You reminded us that love never dies." Eli smiled as he read it. His shop, once cold and silent, now felt alive again. He looked outside and saw neighbors helping one another, laughter echoing down the street. Love, once hidden, had spread, like sunlight melting the snow. Love is not weakness. It is not naive. It is the greatest strength of all, because it builds where hate destroys, heals where bitterness divides, and connects where pride isolates. When we choose love, we do not lose power, we gain it. Because love is not about control, it is about courage. It takes courage to be kind in a cruel world. It takes courage to forgive when it's easier to hate. And it takes courage to keep your heart open when the world has given you every reason to close it. The world changes when one person dares to love without fear. Because every small act of kindness, every word of comfort, every time you forgive, it ripples outward, far beyond what you can see. You may not realize it, but someone out there may find hope again simply because you chose compassion over anger. In Buddhism, it is said, "Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal law." And in Christianity, the Apostle Paul wrote, "Love is patient, love is kind. It keeps no record of wrongs, love never fails." Across all faiths and philosophies, one truth remains unbroken. Love is the root of all healing. Even modern science agrees. Acts of compassion release serotonin and oxytocin, the hormones that repair the heart and calm the mind. When you love, whether through prayer, forgiveness, or kindness, you don't just change others, you heal yourself. So if your heart feels tired today, if your spirit feels dry, remember this. You do not need to search for love. You are love. All you must do is remove the walls that hide it. Eli's story reminds us that sometimes the greatest miracles begin in small moments. In a quiet act of kindness, a single word of forgiveness, or a hand extended towards someone in need. Love is not about changing the world all at once. It's about changing one heart at a time, starting with your own. So take a deep breath. Let go of what has hardened you. Forgive where it hurts. And let the power of love flow through you once again. Because when you awaken the love within, you don't just heal your heart, you help heal the world. Till then, be patient, be thankful, and keep moving forward in life. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs love today, and subscribe to our channel for more stories that bring peace, healing, and wisdom.